Buttons ran down the front. I admired her flowing sleeves, and I needed to re-examine my wardrobe. My black pants and sea green blouse beneath the leather vest with a belt made me look more like a thief. But when I chose my clothing, I prioritized comfort. Most days I lifted boxes at work, and a skirt would get in the way. "Just say it, Scarlet," B continued. "Dick. Cock." I rolled my eyes. I had no issues with such words, as long as I didn't say them. I blamed my grandma, who'd brought me up strictly, no cursing or vulgarities. Heavens bless her soul. "Penis." B licked her lips. "Blowjob." A squeaky male's voice came from behind B. "Ew." Santos walked out of the storage room carrying several boxes. "I can hear you out the back. That's called sexual harassment of men." I sighed, loathing that Santos had heard our conversation, and B spun toward my 18-year-old apprentice. But he might as well be 14 with his thin frame, shaved hair, and his maturity level. Then again, were B and myself any better? "Hey, men talk crap about girls all the time," B said. "What's the difference?" Santos hit the 3 boxes of tobacco leaves on the end of the counter. "You two are too old to talk about such things, and it's gross." "Old?" B's voice climbed. "We're only a year older than you." She turned to me with a cocked eyebrow, expecting me to say something. I shrugged my shoulders. "That's okay, Santos," I said. "We'll curb our tongues if it makes you uncomfortable." He worked his butt off, and I didn't need him leaving. He'd been working for me for a year, and had just learned the names of all the dried plants we sold. "It's fine." He didn't glance our way, and instead opened the first box and scooped handfuls of tobacco into tiny satchels. I marched to the opposite end of the counter. B followed me, probably ready to offer one of her smart-ass comments about Santos, but I jumped in first to change the direction of the conversation. "How come you're not wearing your new boots? The ones I got you for Christmas?" B huffed. "Can't get them dirty, as I plan to wear them to the town ball. Might attract myself a prince in disguise. Besides, you live in the woods with lots of mud and—" The front doorbell chimed, stealing her words. We all glanced up to find Mr. No Pants bursting into the shop with a flurry, his breaths labored and his cheeks red. "I need help," he wheezed. The newcomer's attention fell on the 3 sets of eyes on him, mine lowering to his legs, and even with his tunic covering, he had a huge package. But I focused on the red bleeding through his tunic at his hip. How had he gotten injured? Animal attack? At once, Mr. No Pants straightened his posture and flicked his raven hair over a shoulder, his sight sliding from me to B, then locking onto her curvy chest. Okay, he was a womanizer. Score another point for B against Santos in the women versus men chauvinist race. The newcomer could at least have had the decency to keep his eyes above neck level. B pulled the elastic free from her braid and fluffed out her hair. Typical. I nudged her and raised my eyebrows. "Geez, live a little, Scarlet," she whispered. "You've been too sheltered." I tucked a lock behind an ear. Brown as a deer, my grandma had once called my hair. Nothing sexy about that. Maybe the reason I never got a man's attention was I stayed too safe. My sights fell on the newcomer's blood. Was it a human who had shot him with a bow and arrow? I rounded the corner. "Are you all right?" He stood at least 6 feet, with a solid square jawline, studying me as if I might be an animal he'd crossed paths with in the woods. "You're injured," I continued. The man didn't say a word, but scanned the room and then looked out through the windows behind him. "I'm wonderful." Yet he stood there, a trickle of blood rolling down the side of his leg from under his tunic. "Don't think